What is going on, fools of YouTube? You got AJayPay with episode 7 of To Be a Master, a Pokemon Master. We're going to just jump pretty much right into the battles here in a second. Last video we did go 4-1 with the new team, so that is pretty damn good. We climbed up 2 ranks. We are Pokeball 6. We are almost getting there. We are almost to Great Ball. This matchup here, as we get into this, I look at his team, it looks pretty weird. But I did notice that Rotom is pretty good against his team, mainly because 4 of his Pokemon on his team are physical attackers, and my Rotom's physically defensive, so that's going to be pretty good. And not only that, one of his special attackers, which is Rotom Heat, is weak against Rotom Wash. So basically, my Rotom Wash is good against 5 of his 6 Pokemon. So we are going to lead off with that. Also noticing that his team has a 4 times weakness against Cinderace with both his Durant and his Frostmoth. So going to bring that. And then the final Pokemon will not be Indeedee or Hawlucha. I think Indeedee would actually been pretty good here. I didn't bring Indeedee because it's supposed to usually synergize with Hawlucha. In hindsight, I should have brought Indeedee in this battle. It would be better than what I bring into this battle. And in this case, in this battle, I am gonna bring in Galarian Rapidash because it's fast. That was really only it. I was really confused on what my third Pokemon should be. I was like, screw it. I was gonna bring my fastest Pokemon because Poltergeist would have been too good because its main threat of Mimikyu would be, if they did bring Mimikyu, it's too hard to beat down, and there might not have been a chance to have Poltergeist in time in there against Mimikyu, because Mimikyu still would have been up. The whole point is Mimikyu was in the way. It's really hard for me to explain. I don't know why. I fumble words a lot for no reason. I work in retail. I talk all the time. I talk fine, but when I'm commentating videos, I can't talk at all. He's going to lead off with a double. I'm going to lead off with my Rotom because, like I said, it's good against 5 of his 6 Pokemon. The thing I realized about double when he sent this thing out, it has Cotton Guard, which increases your defense by 3. So this gives a big indication to me that he's probably going to baton pass or something, which already scares me as it is, as I do burn this because I know it's a physical attacker. The reason why I'm scared because the last time I faced a baton passer, which is a Poltergeist, it baton passed to a Mimikyu with a full disguise, and it was too hard to take down and swept my team. So I am really scared of that right now. He does go for a Thunder Wave for some reason. I guess he forgot that I'm an electric type, and electric types cannot be paralyzed anymore, so I get a free Thunderbolt off. I only went for Thunderbolt because I'm afraid of missing Hydro Pump, and I don't want a Dynamax. And here, I thought he would either switch or Baton Pass. That's why I get so fixated on, like, I'm going to burn something for free. In reality, what I should be doing is trying to get as much damage on anything that comes in. Because, like, even if a physical attacker does come in, via Baton Pass, I can just Will-O-Wisp and burn it later after damaging it. He does go for the Body Press, so at this point, I predicted the goddamn switch again. I went for Will-O-Wisp. At this point, I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's not Baton Pass. He's just, whatever, I'm just going to attack. And then he Baton Passes, and this is where my heart sank. Because I was like, oh god, Mimikyu's coming out, Mimikyu's coming out, Mimikyu's coming out. It's Frostmoth. What? Why Frostmoth? Mimikyu is so good, especially against my team. So, Frostmoth's in. It takes the Thunderbolt really well because of its ability of Ice Skills, which ups its special defense. He may have some special defense investments as well. And then I see Quiver Dance, and once again, my heart drops. Because he could Baton Pass this, all these buffs, a +6 defense, plus the special attack, plus the special defense, plus the speed to Mimikyu. So I both switch out. I'm going to immediately go out to Cinderace because it's really my best bet at this point. Because if he just Baton Passes to Mimikyu, then it's over. I got nothing to do. But I'm just going to Dynamax now and just Pyro Ball. I'm not going to mess around with this thing. It doesn't look like he has Baton Pass on it, which is really nice for me. So I'm really, really happy about this. So my heart's uplifted again. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm just not too sure. Even at +6 with max flare, which is going to be 140 base power, if it will kill at all. So we're just going to go for that, and we're just going to hope for the best. I'm not really necessarily too afraid of this thing by itself despite its boost, but I just don't want it to Baton Pass. I do knock out this thing out, and I did a damage calculator. I think I got max damage because I do about, like, I forget what it was, maximum amount of 70%, and he's kind of around that amount. So I think I got that. I think it was 68%. Gyarados comes out now. I can't really do anything to this thing because my only 2 attacking moves are Pyro Ball and U-Turn. Oh, I have Max Darkness too, looks like. But I'd rather just switch into Rotom because it completely does really well against Gyarados. But what I'm totally forgetting is Gyarados nowadays commonly carry Power Whip, and then when they Dynamax, they can do Max Overgrowth, which will do a lot of damage to my Rotom. As he is going to Dynamax here. I did not think about the grass move during the time, but now thinking about it, he definitely could have predicted this switch out because it was really obvious because he already knew I had it because I switched out. He could have predicted this, went for the Max Overgrowth, and knocked me out. Then I would have been in a big pinch. But as you're going to see here, he's going to do a different option. He's going to try to go for the sweep here. He went for Max Airstream here. I thought at first, mainly just because, you know, it actually... I didn't know why he went for Max Airstream. I think because if he wanted the water move, he could have just went for it. But he's going for Max Airstream, obviously, to up his speed, to outspeed everything on my team, and then just sweep my team. Because he knows he should know for a fact that since I am defensive, he can take a Thunderbolt being Dynamax. So he is going to go for another Max Airstream. Now he is at +2 speed, and he does outspeed everything on my team. So he's ready to try to sweep my team, which is kind of bad because... he actually does outspeed my team now, especially he does outspeed my Choice Scarf Rapidash, which I have in the back. Now he's going to go for the Max Overgrowth. This is going to kill me, and not only that, this is going to also give him some recovery after each turn, because that's what Max Overgrowth does. It leaves a grassy terrain that heals. So now, not only does he have +2 speed, he is also healing. So he is definitely ready to sweep, but there is one thing that can stop him from sweeping because of the fact that I have weakened him a little bit, and that is a priority move. And luckily for me, I put Sucker Punch on Cinderace mainly for Dragon Balls, and thank God I did, because this is the one time that I needed Sucker Punch other than against Dragon Ball, because now I can just I Sucker Punch. Did I say Dragon Ball? I think I flubbed my words there. The whole point is I'm glad I had Sucker Punch other than for Dragon Ball, because here I had this priority, I knocked out the Gyarados, and now I stop its sweep. So its final Pokemon is going to be this Double. It's burnt, it can't do anything, it doesn't have a partner to Baton Pass, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go for the coolest move in Pokemon history, Pyro Ball. The animation looks so cool, and it's such a cool move in general. This is the only reason why I love Cinderace, because Cinderace's model looks decent. I actually do really like it now, it's grown on me. But Pyro Ball and the animation of it just makes it look so much better. So that's the game. We are 1-0 in this video. We are 5-1 in general as team. Things are looking good. We might actually be Great Ball soon. So usually whenever I record or commentate on like a battle, I usually try to do it on a second or third take, and I like to go do a practice first take. In this case, we're going to try it first time around. I don't really remember this battle. We did gain some rank, which is nice. Okay, so this battle, I was thinking that the Excadrill is a threat because the Sand Rush ability is a big threat, and him setting up would be a problem. However, once again, Rotom would be pretty good here. Rotom is good against the Dracovish. Rotom's good against the Excadrill, barring it's not Mold Breaker. It's good against the Hippowdon as well, and good against the Rotom Heat. It could be good against Dracovish. I mean, not Dracovish. Dragapult, because it's usually physical, but sometimes they can be special. So most likely I am going to lead off with the Rotom, and then I believe I do decide to have my 2 core Pokemon of this team, which is Indeedee and Hawlucha, but they're not leading off this time. Actually, they are leading off. They are going to lead off. I bring Rotom because, like I said, it's good against 5 of his 6 Pokemon. Once again, because Wenwash is such a good Pokemon, there are actually not a lot of threats anymore towards Rotom because a lot of them got taken out of this game. So yeah, just going to lead off with the Indeedee, as he is going to lead off with the Hippowdon to set up the sand, so he can immediately set up with Excadrill, or try to at least if he wants. However, though, the thing is, if he does decide to switch out Excadrill, despite the fact that he does resist the Psychic move, it will do about, at maximum, I believe, 70% damage because I am Choice Specs. And you already know, like, Choice Specs Indeedee in the Psychic terrain does a hell of a lot of damage. And he has no Dark-type Pokemon this time, so I can just go for the Psychic. As you can see here, this does so much to Hippowdon. It's so bulky, that's like 70% right there, but he does yawn. So this either A, I Psychic something, I either kill it, or if he stays in, or he switches out to something, he takes a psychic hit, or B, I have to switch out. So that way Indeedee won't be useless. Because if I stay in, it'll be asleep and it'll definitely be useless. So I was thinking about tricking for a second here, tricking whatever comes in, but I just decided to just go to the safe play and switch out to Rotom, because like I said, Rotom is good against five of his 6 Pokemon. He doesn't really have too much for Rotom. This is why you should carry Rotom all the time if you really, really want to win. Rotom Wash, defensive Rotom Wash, so good. I honestly think it's the best Pokemon. He switches out to Dracovish. Like I said, I did not predict this. I just didn't want Indeedee to fall asleep because I could use it possibly for later. And I'm just going to cripple this thing and burn it. He does get the Vicious Rend off first, so this is, keep in mind, a Vicious Rend going first, so that's double the damage with the Strong Jaw ability and its stab. And I resist it, and I take that so well. That's base like 160 or 180, I forget what it is when you go first. Regardless, now he's burned, so now he's barely going to do any damage to me. This is a Dracovish. That Rotom resisted it so much. Rotom does so well against this Pokemon. I don't think Dracovish actually has a move that's really good against Rotom Wash. I could be wrong. I have to look at his movesets later. Now that he's burnt, I get a free switch into anything because I go last, so I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch to get some damage up. And look at that. A burnt critical hit Vicious Rend only did a 1/4 of my damage when he went first. That is amazing. Rotom Wash. Just imagine once it gets Pain Split, it's going to be so much better because it'll have a form of recovery. I get the Volt Switch out. I know that Psychic Train is going down soon, so I'm going to switch up to Hawlucha. And not only that, I'm just going to start setting up. Because, like I said, this Dracovish is burnt, so its attack is cut. So I can easily set up on this thing now. I am unburdened, and I'm ready to try to potentially sweep his team. So he's just going to stay, and he's going to take a lot of residual damage with the burn and the sand. So it's really affecting him. I am just going to go for the acrobatics here. I honestly think I only went for that because I wanted to have as many turns of Dynamax as I need to. But in hindsight, I should have just Dynamaxed there and just killed him with the Max Knuckle to have the attack boost, or kill him with the Max Stream. So that way I can outspeed this Dragapult. Because as we saw in the last video, I don't know why I didn't outspeed a Dragapult when I was already unburdened. I outsped him like the first turn. But then the next two turns after he was done Dynamaxing, he outsped me. So I still don't know to this day why this thing outsped me. But yeah, so just going to go ahead and Dynamax here, and I'm just going to start setting up now. I am just going to go for the Max Airstream. I don't think it kills because it's not that strong of a move the moment you Dynamax. Actually going for Acrobatics here, just in regular form, does more damage because Acrobatics does more damage when you don't have an item. In this case, Max Airstream is just Max Airstream. It's like, I think, a base 130 move probably, or 140, something around there. He shows that he special. He does go for the Thunderbolt, but that's not good for him, unfortunately, because what's his face? Dragapult doesn't really have too high of a special attack base stat. I believe it's just 100, so that's not really too high. And the fact that I got a special defense boost because of the Psychic Train, it doesn't do that much at all. He is going to Dynamax here. He probably should have done this the first turn, because if he knew what a Hawlucha actually does, he probably should have done this, but it honestly doesn't really matter because I outspeed now. I'm just going to go for another Max Airstream, and now nothing should outspeed me at all. Even if he can get a Sandstream, if he can magically get a Sandstorm up with his Excadrill, if Excadrill is his last Pokemon. I'm not sure if it actually is his last Pokemon or not. I think Excadrill is his last Pokemon, as I do knock this thing out. Oh yeah, no, it's not, because he had Hippowdon, Dracovish, and Dragapult. So he only had those 3 Pokemon. Regardless, though, this dude can't do anything to me. He's just gonna forfeit here, and this is gonna be another win for us. Just a classic Hawlucha sweep. I only had 3 battles left with this team, so that's why I'm gonna commentate on this battle. Otherwise, this battle would have been a summary like the last ones were. But the last battle is gonna be pretty good, especially on my part. So this next battle, I'm pretty hyped for it because I make pretty good moves in this game. As you're gonna see here, we are Great Ball! Yeah, we finally are not Hard Stuck Pokeball anymore. We are now Soft Stuck Great Ball. It turns out I did lose a battle here, and I don't really want to summarize it because I'm kind of lazy to be honest. I kind of just want to get the battle over. But essentially, what happened, I'm not going to put the animations. I Dynamaxed at the wrong... I sent out the wrong Pokemon in the beginning, and then he Dynamaxed and sweeps my team, so couldn't really do anything there. Looking at this guy's team, it looks really weird. I see a Corsola on there, and that's gonna be a problem, I would say, because I've seen what glaring Corsolas can do. I've never faced one, but it's really annoying. I wish I had a Pokemon that could Toxic it, but I need a Pokemon that could hit it with special attacks really hard. And I only have 2 Pokemon for that. That would be Poltegeist and my Indeedee. And Indeedee can do pretty well as well because I am part normal type, and I'm not affected by ghost type attacks. So if he has Nightshade, not gonna affect me at all. So I decide that I'm gonna bring Poltegeist here, despite the fact that he does have an Umbreon and a Tyranitar, which Tyranitar destroys Poltegeist because Poltegeist cannot learn Focus Blast, which is really unfortunate. So I'm gonna lead off with the Poltegeist because I'm thinking he's actually gonna lead off with the Corsola, and then I'm of course gonna bring the obvious 2 main members of the team, which is Indeedee and Hawlucha. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and if he leads off with Tyranitar, then we're gonna have major problems. But you're gonna see that we are gonna run into some problems into this match. So she or he or whatever is gonna lead off with the Corsola. So I get this prediction right as I get to go into Poltegeist. Essentially, I think I can set up here for free. Setting up here is pretty good, I would say, but I kind of get greedy with it, as you'll see. I go for the Shell Smash, so I can stored power this thing now after whatever move it goes for. Or I can go for a Shadow Ball to hit this thing really hard. As he does go for the Stealth Rocks, which, in my opinion, I don't think Stealth Rock's really good for this 3v3 stuff, because there's not a lot of switching in and out. So this kind of, I feel like, is a wasted turn for him. This is where I get greedy. I should not Shell Smash here. I should have just attacked here. But I was thinking I could potentially sweep his team if I get 2 Shell Smashes up, because now I'll be +2 in speed and +2 in special attack. But the thing that I'm not thinking about is how great Tyranitar actually is against Poltegeist. Keep in mind, if you have a Pokemon that does boost its physical attack, you should have 0 IVs in it, despite the fact you're even not using it, using its physical attack, any physical attacks at all, because Pokemon like Galarian Chlorosil can take advantage of it with Strength Sap and heal more, but in this case, it didn't matter. But you're going to see now he's going to switch into Rotom Heat for some reason. I have no idea why he does this switch. He should have just went into Tyranitar. He essentially just wastes a Pokemon here. Rotom just dies in one hit to a +2 attack. Maybe he wanted a free switch into Tyranitar. So Tyranitar is going to come out now. Tyranitar's been in every generation. And if you still don't know what Tyranitar is special for, one of its things that it's special for is its ability Sandstream. Because if a rock type Pokemon is in a Sandstorm, it has a special defense boost. And Tyranitar has pretty good respectable special defense and pretty good respectable base HP. So the fact that despite the fact that I am at +2, I won't be doing too much damage because he resists my Shadow Ball, he's immune to Store Power, and the only move that I do have to hit this thing with is a Giga Drain, which he's super effective against, but it's not a stab move and it doesn't have a high base attack. And the fact that his special defense is really high, it's just even more of a reason why Giga Drain doesn't do too much. And then he also has weakness policy. So when he's hit by a special, like, if he's weak by attacking he's weak against, it raises his physical attack and special attack. So now he's really strong, and he breaks my Focus Dash here. But the Focus Dash won't matter because now the Sandstorm is up. So once this turn ends, I'm going to be dead because the Sandstorm is going to take me out with its residual damage, as you're going to see here. So in general, if Poltegeist had Focus Blast, then it can do great against Tyranitar. It can kill it one hit, but it doesn't. So Tyranitar is actually a really, really good counter to Poltegeist, and this is why you need Pokemon like Hawlucha to support it. But now I have the choice to either set out to Indeedee or Hawlucha. Indeedee can't do anything to Tyranitar, and Tyranitar would eat it alive. So I have to go out to Hawlucha and not get an Unburden boost. So essentially, I'm sending out a Hawlucha with no ability. And I have a choice here, because he still has a Galarian Chlorosil sitting in the back, which is Ghost type. If I go for the high jump kick and he switches out to Corsola, I high jump kick nothing and I lose half of my HP. However, though, I can switch out to Indeedee, but he might stay in because he's Dynamax is the thing, and then Indeedee might take a free hit, and then I'd lose the game essentially, because Indeedee, I don't have a move to hit it with. That's why it has Hawlucha to support it. So I'm going to predict that Corsola is going to come in. I'm going to predict the double switch because I feel like I have to do this. This is a move that I have to do in order to win the game. Like, it's better to risk it here than to go for the high jump kick and just lose a lot of HP and lose the advantage. So I am going to switch here, and I absolutely am praying that he's switching out to Corsola because he's Dynamax here. Whoever switches out when they're Dynamax, right? So Indeedee's out now. I'm sweating. I'm praying to God that I made one of the game-winning moves. And as you can see here, he does switch out. He does switch out his Dynamax Pokemon, which is great. I get this prediction right because he only has Galarian Corsola. That's so hard for me to say for some reason. Galarian Corsola. Galarian Corsola. All right, there we go. But now it's not over yet. It's not over yet because this thing could have Mirror Coat. And I can't take this thing out in one hit with a Psychic despite the fact that it is fully defensive with the Bold Nature. So I'm just going to go ahead and trick this thing because he could have Mirror Coat. So I'm going to trick this thing a Choice Specs and whatever, and then now he's going to be locked into something. And this thing is essentially crippled and less defensive now because I took away his Eviolite. And he goes for the Mirror Coat. It fails. And now he's locked into Mirror Coat, and I have switch advantage because now I can switch out to Hawlucha. And if I do switch out to Hawlucha, I can set up in his face because it's locked into Mirror Coat, and my Hawlucha doesn't have any special attacks. So I have the advantage here. I pretty much believe I've won this game, and he knows it too. He decides to forfeit. I pulled the double switch for the win. It was looking very grim for me there because he had a setup Tyranitar that was Dynamax that he could have just stayed in. But he tried to make the smart play, but I made the smarter play. So that's a very good game. We are still Great Ball. We're halfway there to Great Ball 8. We're currently Great Ball 7. I have not played any games since then. So I don't know if I'm going to make a new team or I'm going to stick with this thing. I'm leaning towards making a new team because I don't really like sticking with the same team for 3 videos. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the series recently and these battles. And this team specifically, because I really do like this team. I think the only member I would switch out is Poltegeist. I think that's about it. Maybe Rapidash too. But anyways, though, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow all my socials, subscribe, and all that stuff. You're going to see how stupid my Hawlucha is chasing this ball soon. Because I like how Hawlucha chases stuff because it actually just jumps and flies and tries to show off. But anyways, yeah, that about does it for me. Like if you like, comment if you like, and subscribe if you like. And as always, please have yourselves a damn good one. As you'll see, you can watch the rest of the video and see how stupid my Hawlucha is, because you're gonna look at it fly. It looks so damn cool. I did the outro too late. Hold on. Just stay here for a second, guys. Just stay here. I just want you guys to see how stupid my shiny Hawlucha is, because it's such a cool looking Pokemon, shiny, but it's so freaking stupid. As it's gonna fly over. God, why did I record this for so long? Holy God. Oh, look at my Galarian Rapidash. It's so happy. So I throw it to the side here. Cinderace thinks he's gonna get it. He's not. And then look at my Hawlucha. We'll just say he's, despite his colors, he's not the brightest crayon in the box. Anyways, though, my Roto tries to photobomb it, and then I try to turn away from it as it smiles. But yeah, it's Hawlucha. What is wrong with you? All right, please have yourselves a damn good one, guys. All right, bye.